Hello, and welcome to my channel with your fave psychic medium, Danny, aka Danny Be Knowing. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for coming back to my channel for all your favorite psychic tea across everything. So as you can see from this title and the cover photo, this is a psychic reading on Chelley and Olandria. And the psychic reading isn't even to dive deep into their friendship, to understand what the dynamics are looking like. That may come about as I'm doing a reading, because everything, whenever I do my reading on public figures, anything else, not only is it for entertainment purposes only, but it's also what's to come out publicly. You will not be getting any information on their personal lives that's not going to come out. I would never violate those boundaries. So as you can see, I have a mic with this video from my last Love Island video. There were some technical difficulties. I'm just put out there. I switched to a Z Flip 7. So I am just getting everything together of how to do content on my Z Flip 7 versus iPhone. Now, for those of you that don't know, if I do use playing cards to my reading, I'll be doing a general reading of what's to come for them. They are killing the game right now. They're in a lot of everything. And to give context, when this reading is being filmed, last night was the VMAs and Emmys. So today is September 8th. And this is for anybody that wants to deny my gifts. So, along with that, I'm not only a psychic medium that does content, I am a psychic medium that has her books currently open. And you can visit my website at www.danielleclack.com. And there you can go ahead to the Book a Reading With Me tab. If you love all my readings and you find me so accurate and everything, why not get a reading for yourself? So, come ahead, join us and join me. Right now I'm shuffling the cards. It's just to get a quick general insight. I'm not going to hold y'all. It's hot. I got the fan going and everything. But however long it lasts under these lights, that's how long we're going to get this tea. And just a PSA. Those of you that are really big Nick Alandria stands, really big Shelly stands, really big Shelly stands, really big Alandria stands, please don't come on this reading being weird, pitting two black women against each other. Can we try to remember the plot? Can we try to have some way we carry ourselves when we're discussing two black women, especially ones that have been having racist attacks and hate trains against them? Let's not fuel the narrative others are doing. You know, it's okay to want to support them, to have that care, but remember, we do not know these people. They do not know you. And I told y'all in my last video to keep it player, keep it P, because they're gonna stop talking to y'all. I think Alandria was this close. You know, a lot of people are this close to just kind of veering away from the public. Y'all want that type of interaction, you have to act like you have sense. Let's get into it. Also, thank you so much for viewing my last reading. I think I'm at like 900 views. Thank you so much for checking out that reading. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe off that reading. Go ahead and comment over there what you like, what you noticed that has come to be, and do the same for this reading. So let's jump into the predictions. So as you can see, I love Olandria down. I'm a fan of Olandria. And we're going to do a reading. We're going to view them as two separate people. And then I'll see if there anything comes up for anything that they're going to be working on together. And what's to come up publicly? I honestly want to see if I'm going to get any psychic insight. They're going to tell people to shut up. Because I would. Alright. Dear spirit guides, second ancestors, benevolent, honorable family, please assist me with this reading. Can we get some insight, psychic insight on Shelly and Alandria? No dead people. I might be a medium, but I'm not trying to communicate with anybody dead. What's to come up for them? I think they're gonna get on a live together or do a interview together. It's some form of content they're gonna do together where they're together in the same room, and it's kind of to dispel some of the rumors going around. And I think honestly, probably to tell a group of y'all to shut up. You know, in the most princess way, of course. These cards coming out are interesting, and we're gonna get right into it. But I do see them sitting together, whether it's on like a Zoom call, they happen to meet virtually because they're busy, or like together. One of them could probably post text messages as a way to show that they're cool, that they're friends, when it's like, don't nobody know us but us, and I love you or something. It could be something just light work. They're both not too big on doing too much talking on the internet. It makes sense. The visceral backlash they got versus someone where if you were to play clips versus theirs and Shelly's, and I'm talking about Huda, there's only one person out of the two that's had a terrible, terrible character. And it's in 4K. But, you know, racism doesn't make sense. First card that came out was this King of Spades. This King of Hearts. And I'm going to break it down for you right now. The King of Spades is Ace. The King of Hearts is Nick. Two men coming out. So that's going to be very important. Then we have this Nine of Hearts. Learning with love, maybe. A book. I told you about a picturesque book I can see for Alandria, but there's going to be some book or something. Maybe somebody quotes Love Island. Maybe somebody quotes Alandria and Shelly within it. Maybe Alandria is part of the writing. There's something here. We have the Six of Hearts. Past love interests. I'm being guided to put the cards under certain kings. We're gonna break that down. This Eight of Hearts, secrets. This upside down Joker, which is usually the freedom card for me. Freedom! Or the Hangman, basically. No. Yeah, Hangman. And this Nine of Diamonds, and this goes for both. So you can't see the setup I have here. I'm not going to flip my camera to show you. I'll probably take a picture afterwards if this is still up. But basically, I have these two kings on their sides. Ace is on the left. Nick is on the right. Nick is the King of Hearts. Ace is the King of Spades. Please stay with me. I have a Nine of Hearts. I place in the bottom between them. I have a Six of Hearts that goes under Ace's card, the King of Spades. I have the Eight of Hearts that goes under Nick's card, the King of Hearts. I have this Nine of Diamonds that's in the middle. Nines are very important, and it's honestly a really good sign for me so far, and I'll break it down to you why. And then this Joker here, that's just out. And I know you guys are like, this reader is on Olandria. Why are the men involved? Because you guys connect them to them, and anything they do, y'all yell at them about, or uplift them, or drag them down, as we're seeing right now. So that's very important. And I've said this in my last reading, they're going to all do a very good job of establishing their own lanes for them. But the issue here is not them not being able to establish their own lanes. It's the viewers. I don't know what it is with Black women and the viewers and feeling as if, and there's layers to this conversation, of course, but there's so much responsibility placed on them. But you also deny their greatness. So basically what I'm seeing is because of what's going to be going on with these guys, it will tear off to what's going on with Olandria. One thing I will say here, they're not letting whatever is happening to their men come between them. They are actually still pretty cool and still friends at this moment. Now, things can change. Who knows what can come up, but this is what I'm getting from this moment. They are friends, and there's going to be some annoyance when they come to address y'all saying, who are y'all to tell me, like, who could be my friend, who can't? You know, like, let me navigate this. Let me do what I need to do, right? So, like I said, I see them in an interview. They're going to be discussing, again, the racism and vitriol. And also, now that Love Island's over, I can see them going to detail with certain cast members of the difference in how they're being treated. So with this King of Spades and the Six of Hearts at the bottom, there might be women or someone that Ace used to talk to that could be an issue. And it could be Cookie or something. Who knows? I'm not deep into the fandom. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Ace had a best friend named Cookie who was being really nasty to Chelley online while they're on the villa. There's some past things there. There's going to be an issue stemming from her that might cause another wave of backlash to go. And this time might be towards both Chelley and Alandria, because It might be Chelley Olandria involved in some esque way, hanging out, something. With this Nine of Hearts, Nine of Diamonds in the middle, there's a lot of lessons here. They're all learning, but for Olandria specifically, they're learning how to have my own back separated and what that looks like being connected with my partner. And trying to understand how that comes together, but to make sure that they're in the best spot possible. And there's a 7 of clubs at the bottom. A lot of people involved, a lot of things coming rapidly, and a lot of things happening very quickly. They are going to be very busy throughout here and rest of 2026. We will see them all being platformed as a PPG. So to the fans that are continuously comparing these 4 people or couples against couple, it really won't matter down the line because everybody's going to be eating. Also, we should really stop counting other people's pockets so much, especially when they're not coming to ours. What's the point? Then we have this King of Hearts, Nick, with this 8 of Hearts. There's some secrets here. Now, secrets don't always have to be a bad thing, but there are underlining things, maybe a deeper connection that Alandria will be speaking of in interviews going forward. And this is going to cause people, as Alandria starts speaking, like, we just have a really deep connection. Like, I'm really coming to terms of, like, possibly fall in love. The more she speaks into that, the more people will question their relationship. Even though there were couples that came out that villa last season, and one of them's not together now because he turned out to be a total fake, that we're speaking on that same tip. It doesn't mean anyone's faking. That's what they feel in the moment. But we're going to see that conversation happen again. And what I realized is whenever there's one black girl, they're not both being dragged, there's one being dragged, there's a group of people that feel like, okay, I gotta drag this other one to make the playing field even. Why not just uplift the other one and uplift and make it even, right? But we're gonna see that type of backlash. She's gonna be coming out more, discussing how deep that relationship is, discussing how deep her relationship is with some of the people in the cast. And some fans and viewers are not gonna like that because it goes against what they feel like their Sims should be acting like. And unfortunately, as we come to see what Olandria, we're gonna see them having to be covered and uplifted by other people in the industry that are seeing it for what it is, right? What more can you give me on Olandria? They're probably gonna come in together on a brand deal, maybe some type of skit that they do, and like, cause we're not supposed to be friends, and like they do something together. But I see partnership things done. I see discussions of them saying, we have to have real discussions of what this look like, what the truths of some people are, and how we approach that, and how we go about that. Also, from the award show, there's going to be things coming out from that VMA party, and people trying to see, did Ace speak with Alandria and Nick? Oh my God, it's going to be so awkward with them there. It's a big ass award show and party. Like, maybe it won't be the focus, but there's going to be a lot of people trying to just drum up things because they want to see who's connected with who. Are the core 4 really, like, cool? What's happening with that? Now this, Joker upside down. There's opportunity right now being offered to all 4 of them, and there's a lot of decision-making debate. And I don't think it's debate of, like, do I want to work with them? I think it's debate of how we want to approach this, especially with everything that's been playing out in the media. And so we might see them slowly speaking with each other online, slowly starting to come back around to that as they're getting the audience used to seeing them interact. And then something's going to be released. Because if we're going to be real, there's no one else that can represent Love Island except for Nick and Alandria as a final couple, who, like I said in my last reading, will be treated like the winners. Ding, ding, ding. And Shelly's. Someone has to represent this season, y'all. Someone has to represent. Because And some of you papayas might be mad, but I mean, y'all deactivated her community on Twitter, so y'all really don't care. Y'all pushed her to be a winner, and she's not even being treated like one. I don't know what y'all beefs was this season with certain things and people. They ain't did nothing. But yeah, let me shuffle some more. I want to get a sneak peek to see what brand deals be connected with them. So first, we're going to start off with Alandria, our second place winner in La Island, USA, technically the first winner. So Miss Alandria, what's to come for her? Ooh, busy calendar. Ma'am really thought she was going to go back to work after this. She is like in awe, and she's going to talk about this soon. She is like in shock, like, I'm not going back to work on the elevators. I was making good money. Oof. Poor baby. Yeah. Alandria is noticing a lot of endings coming along when it comes to a lot of things. So I have her 5 of diamonds, 10 of spades, 10 of clubs, and 6 of clubs. All right. Oh, and the ace of spades at the bottom. Alandria is a Gemini, air sign, gabba gabber. All right, 5 of diamonds. So 5 of diamonds, I either get oof, money troubles, or ooh, there's complications coming with this money. We might hear of Alandria might need to switch around her team or something. There is something that comes out with not being too open with the money. There's something there that might end up being discussed way down the line, especially when it comes to some slowdown or brand deals or something's coming to a pause. This also could be complications dealing with people within her life. She's gonna have a lot of people that knew her once upon a time, coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda knew her, and they're gonna be coming around, and she's gonna have to navigate that and deal with people saying, you know, you have all this money now, you're not even trying to spare something. You know, it's a hard time, it's a recession, it's the economy. It's really not looking too good as for America. This 10 of spades. Now this makes you really sad. Her mental health is not in the best place, and she'll be pretty vocal about this coming line. And I mean, honestly, it just makes sense because even though Alandria is being pushed at, is being shown as his first place winner, she's being treated as such, unlike someone who's just at the Emmys. She's being treated as their first place winner. She's getting all this. There are people actively upset that a dark-skinned woman is being shoved up in the light versus others. And even though we are giving her a lot of praise, a lot of complimenting things, there are still a lot of negative comments and negative things being spewed at her in a lot of different angles. And what she came out to from that villa was disgusting. We have this 10 of clubs. A lot of endings, like I said, coming speedily. Her having to cut things with past people, 6 of clubs, really quickly. Her probably being cognitive of her health, making sure, you know, she's eating right, she's taking rest. She might be partnering with some brands that are about like mental health or something there. Now, we're supposed to get into brands, but they're going in a lot of her mental health because that's going to be connected with how we see her moving and how silent she might get. This ace of spades. New beginnings. And because of all these new beginnings coming, baby Alandria's got to cut some things off. And that might be that's going to be something she talks about down the line, that she's going to be open about. I see her hitting the cover of a couple magazines. She's probably in the works right now or shooting something at this moment. Her and Nick on a cover. Maybe People. And then for Alandria, I could see her and maybe Shelly at the same time on Ebony. And her on just Ebony. Now, brand deals. Alandria might be connected. Alandria should have a hair brand deal. She's also going to be having something about a scent. It might be an expensive scent. And she's going to be with a luxury brand, a very well-known luxury brand, like a high-end luxury brand. They're going to be connecting with her. And she's going to be talking more about the modeling editorial she's getting and what she'll be doing in regards to that. And maybe glamour. Let's see what else I can get for her. I'm getting like flashes, y'all. I'm closing my eyes because I'm getting visions. It just helps me get the picture stronger. Music videos. I see her and Shelly in a music video. Okay. I know Shelly's been a Mariah the Scientist. Please don't come here saying Shelly's already been in a music video. Mariah the Scientist, that's not what I'm talking about. That big came out. I know. I'm talking about some other music videos. Let's see what else. What else is coming for Alandria? Voiceover work, in a way. 4 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, ace of clubs, 4 of clubs. A lot of familial things. There might be some drama with one of her sisters online. Maybe they respond to something and turns to a thing, but there could be some drama with that, or relationship drama that spills over. 10 of diamonds. Like I said, a lot of endings and new beginnings tied into these endings. 5 of hearts. There's probably gonna be a rumor or something. Nick being filmed in a suggestive way. Something's gonna happen. They're gonna try to fuel a rumor that they broke up or something. That's gonna be a thing discussed for a minute, and Nick and Alandria are not gonna respond at first. But yeah. Ace of clubs. She is going to have a fiery path in new beginnings. We're going to see rapid things coming. Mama's is busy. Mama's is working right now. I think she's probably still in LA. Mama's is... Also, I'm seeing her cooking. She might make an appearance, I guess, on a cooking show. We're going to see Alandria, like, trying out different avenues. And with her being treated like the winner, she's going to have nothing but that time to... cement that. We're going to see her connecting with other Love Island USA folks. We're going to also see her getting her streaming up, and it's going to be a real big number of streaming views that happens in her first closure. She's going to be making history in something. Yes. She's going to be making history of something. She's going to be like, oh, she broke this record. A lot of records coming along the way for her to break. We're going to see a lot more of Alandria. She has a very, very, very successful 2026 coming her way. Now let's get into Shelly. What the Shelly? What the helly? I love them down. Okay, let's get into Shelly. I don't want to say her last name because I don't think I'm gonna pronounce it correctly, so I'm not about to butcher Mama's that way. Let's get into Shelly. Dear Anonymous, let's get some psychic insight on Shelly. What's to come with Shelly? What's going on with her publicly? What was she discussing? Anything good coming along? All right. So we have this 5 of diamonds right here, just like we did for Alandria. I'm going to get into that. We have this 9 of diamonds. This 8 of hearts. Very interesting. 2 of clubs. 4 of spades. And Queen of diamonds. Oh, and 2 hearts at the bottom. Balance. So we're gonna see Shelly doing a few interviews coming up. Her just going more into her life. That's gonna probably be a really nice sit down interview she does just on her own, where we actually get to learn a lot more about Shelly. Funny enough, a friend and I were discussing Love Island, and she did say, I don't think I got to really learn a lot about Shelly. I know we heard about her having to be homeless for a bit with her family, all those things, but they purposely did not give our girl that much background in the show when she was the most sought after. I wonder why. But we're going to see a really nice one-on-one sit-down touchdown with Shelly and maybe Jesse will. Yeah. But she's going to be going into more of her personal life. And it's unfortunate this has to happen, but that will actually humanize her a lot to a lot of folks, because unfortunately they don't like to see Black women just having a good time. They have to hear about the struggles. They have to hear about these other things. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with sharing that with relating to your audience, but we don't see people asking Iris about what the hell she struggled through. Or asking TJ to come online and give his little child, but she's going to be very well spoken, very good, and she's going to give a lot of insight into the villa. And this interviewer might push to actually discuss Huda in depth. I think Shelly's been very demure in how she approaches that topic and how she handles that. So we're probably going to see her, giving more insight to certain situations and things going on. So with this Five of Diamonds is Chelley as well, like Olandria, having to learn to handle the complications that comes in with having money. And she might have issues, not with negotiating, but she might come out and say, it's been a lot of I'm glad to have a team that don't play about me, because the way people would try to play me is astounding. This Nine of Diamonds. A lot of learning. She might talk about how she is taking classes about something, doing a lot of learning, and we might see brand deals come along in that way. Yes. So she might be the face of some course, some class. I'm not thinking like college or anything. I'm thinking of like something influence social media. She's going to be more of table talks. Even Alandria, I'm seeing a vision of Alandria as well. And yes, she's going to be doing a lot of table talks, like panels. She's going to be on some panels, and we're going to see her being the face of that, speaking on panels, speaking to her experience to certain things, of how to navigate certain situations. And then this Eight of Hearts. There are things she is going to be revealing that have been really detrimental to her mental health of what's been coming around. There might be a sit-down documentary or something with Love Island. I think I discussed this and what's to come up for Love Island reunion and the cast and everything. And her discussing, it got really bad at a point. I'm set to walk this red carpet the next day, and I have 30 people telling me to off myself. And the network I was on didn't say anything. In fact, they let a narrative go along for a minute until then they decided to go to reunion to reveal votes to show that those people are going to go home anyways. So she's going to be a lot more candid speaking like that. But there's some expansion happening. It's also happening for Alandria as well. Expansion, what they talk about in terms of the relationship. Shelly's going to be talking a lot about her relationship, how deep it's getting, how expansive it's getting, but also learning the balance of it. Balance for myself, balance for my man, balance for my career, balance for our things. Two of Clubs. Self. It's fastly approaching with lessons of self. She could be stepping into her Saturn return soon along with Alandria. So there's going to be a lot of lessons, a lot of things to come along for them that is going to feel like all this shit is just happening one after one. Trust me, someone her Saturn return right now, it is not for the weak. It ain't fun, but the rewards you get are priceless, but it ain't fun. This Four of Spades. We're probably going to see more Shelly's family coming online to tell y'all to shut up. Leave her alone. Stop bothering her. Stop telling her off herself. Stop blaming her for things other people are doing. Stop clipping things and lying. You know, as Shelly continues to succeed, just like Olandria, we're going to see people trying to peddle narratives, get very upset just off the simple fact that they're living and breathing. Also, putting this out there, they might come out and start suing some people, especially these content creators that are peddling very dangerous narratives. They might take the Stallion route and start lodging up lawsuits. So we're also going to probably see this new wave of how they handle things, because I did not see the visceral like this last season, and people were racist towards Janae and Serena, but I did not see this type of visceral that we're seeing now. And then this Queen of Diamonds, Shelly is going to be perfectly fine. Like Alandria, they're going to have a very successful 2026 year. They're going to be building their platform much outside of Love Island for themselves, and they're going to be candid of where their friendship stands and what they think their friendships to be, and how you guys cannot tell them who's real and who's not when you don't know them, you weren't there. Especially when the things that have been displayed so far don't even add up to the theories you have. So we're gonna see them kind of come out doing a Serena thing, being like, don't do that. So it's some things here to be revealed. They're gonna be cooking up here. I didn't do this speed round in the Love Island reunion video. What I usually do is basically when I shuffle my cards and I just start giving up a round of predictions. I don't fully go into it like that. I just go, boom, one card, this one predicting, and just give a round of them, and we'll see what happens. So let's do that here. Shuffling. And we're gonna... Okay, let's go. Oop. 3 hearts, other people, 2 hearts going up. Something's going to try to come from that one girl, Huda. It's going to be some issue coming up, and we might see them, Chelley Olandria, clink up together and say, not on my watch. There's something weird here. Her trying to antagonize, stir up something. So we might see a little bit of online games being played. Ooh, drama. Ooh, this Ace of Spades. Like I said, new beginnings. This came up during Alandria's spread. This coming up for both of them. A lot of new beginnings, a lot of discussions of new beginnings. Also, new forms of ways they're communicating. I think we might see a little bit more clapping back from both parties. And I'm telling people, you cannot tell me what to do or say on my social media platform if it's not offending anybody. I'm not your child. Ooh, 5 of Spades. Oof. There's going to be them discussing the challenges that come along with being black and being online and being in the public eye, and how people still go out of their way to try to humble them and be nasty to them. We might see instances with Alandria or Shelly on streaming platforms or certain platforms where the host was not being good to them, and that person's going to get a lot of backlash. So we're going to see people trying to publicly humiliate them. And it not working. Because God's children are always favored. Ooh, King of Clubs. I see Ace. And he's a fire sign. Ace will probably be coming back online, doing a lot of streaming content, just different content on TikTok again, to have like a little reunion with the people that he dances with and stuff. And it's gonna fuel a lot of people trying to spew a narrative, trying to be nasty and mean. But we're gonna see levels hit with the money made from that. And Shelly might appear. And this is being brought up because this can cause another fuel of hate to come Shelly's way, unfortunately. Ooh, 10 of Hearts. I see both couples. Both couples might end up a trip or something and shock people. Yeah. Nine of Diamonds, yeah. Something to do with money, learning. Both couples might be sent on a brand trip or something. And this might be their way of saying, we're still cool, can't nothing break up the core four or something. Yeah, on a beach or something. On a cover, like different photo shoots. We might see that Nick or Ace, they're gonna each do like their own personal interview, like an actual sit down, and it'll probably be Nick, a further discussion of what's came from that interview and what's to come next. Eight of Diamonds. Money getting long. They're gonna be so well when it comes to money and the brand deals. Also, we might see Shelly acting. She might end up on a sitcom, maybe King of Barris, something along with that, or even Tyler Perry, and that might be the same for Alandria. So we're going to see them acting. We're going to see them coming into their own and being entertainers and probably taking classes. That's probably why I saw classes for Shelly. Shelly might discuss that she's in acting classes at the moment. All right. So that is what I got on Chelley Olandria, what I got so far. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how you like the reading so far. What do you think could happen? What predictions are you looking forward to seeing possibly come true? And I'll catch you next time. Bye.